Moving on with the Hitchcock, the beginning set, probably one of my favourite movies from this set is number 17. Again, never heard of this one. I threw it on just hoping for the best, and I got that. It's such a simple premise. It's such a quick movie as well, just over an hour, 63 minutes, and it packs a lot into it. This is a film that constantly pulls back the layers and reveals more and more interesting facets. At the start of this one, we have a detective turn up at a house. The door's unlocked. He wanders in to discover a man scowling around the house with a candle and a dead body. And thus begins the story.
Hey, let me go, Governor. I ain't done it.
What were you doing up there, then?
I'll come in here for a shake me down, see you. Must have somewhere to sleep, mustn't I?
This is a detective that's turned up at the house. He has, following an investigation, he finds this dead body, and thus begins this cat and mouse game that will play through the rest of the film. And what I loved about this is how it starts off as just two characters and a dead body, and just slowly evolves into something wonderful. And so engrossed with the story that I almost missed the masterstroke of how this was put together.
Who's that man? If you don't mind, I think that's rather an unusual question for a house hunter, isn't it?
And it's such a great evolution in the way it just new people are constantly added into this tale. We have our two people at the start in the dead body. Turns out this is the meeting place for a gang of robbers who are meeting up after a heist. As they slowly start to get together, there are some displaced loyalties. There are some people who may not be who they say they are. And it becomes a kind of, who are you? What are you up to? Who's going to get the underhand? Who's going to be double-crossed, triple-crossed? And it just starts throwing more into the mix. And I'm like, this is great. We've got the one location house. We've got all these characters who you don't really know who they are. We just have who they are saying that they are. We don't know their machinations. We kind of learn some of their traits throughout their actions and the way they talk. And then we move on to a train later on, and we've got this high-speed kind of chase on this train that's just thrilling, and it just kept building, which was really marvellous. It flies by. Even at 63 minutes, it's one of the shortest movies on this set, but it's one of the most compact story with thrills and suspense, the chases, the dialogue, the constant mystery around people. What is their ultimate end game? What are they up to? It just keeps adding all these things into it and just becomes really fascinating and wonderful. That number 17 felt like a kind of real suspense-laden Hitchcock movie where it takes a premise and just keeps adding. By the time you get to the train sequence at the end, I just loving everything that was going on here. You could see Hitch at work, and what he was doing was tremendously great. Absolutely phenomenal. And you have all these performers who really are leaning into characteristics because, like as I said, they're being duplicitous. Some of them are pretending one thing and another. There's a wonderful sequence where there is a man who is almost pretending to be unconscious while one of the crooks digs out their ill-gotten gains. And it's so kind of funny and on the nose, but at the same time it's kind of suspenseful, and you're never quite sure how that scene is going to play out. And it should be said that this is a kind of comedy thriller as well. There are supposed to be a lot of laughs through it, and it works tremendously well, where you can have threat and you can have death, but then you can have kind of slapsticky humour, and it doesn't feel jarring. It feels as if it's a kind of cohesive whole. It almost alleviates the stress and the tension of certain sequences before slowly building it back up again. Yeah, I loved this one. I absolutely loved it. This can be an easy throw-on A great film and one of my favourites from this set. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for number 17. Let's go to the bonus features. First up, we have From Silent Film Idol to Superman, Jon Stewart by Jonathan Crowell. This I liked because it starts off by telling you all about how Hitchcock was kind of forced to make this film, which is interesting, looking at the film and really appreciating it, and then seeing that he wasn't really engaged by it, which leads into some of the other extras as well. We have an audio commentary. We have the Hitchcock Truffaut archival audio interview, which is hilarious because it just starts off with Hitch calling this a complete and utter disaster. Then we have the introduction by director and film historian Noel Simsolo, who explains that after kind of the failures of Rich and Strange, how he kind of moved back into his successful role. We know we had The Lodger, Blackmail Murder, moved into a detective story like number 17. There is also Lobby Card Gallery, and that's the extras for number 17. Number 17 from this set was terrific. Absolutely loved it. One of my favourite of the Hitchcock films, and really kind of moving into his wheelhouse here. I can't recommend this one highly enough. I would love to know your thoughts on it. So let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle, whether it's something you're interested in. As always, there is more content up here where you can see more of my stuff if you're interested. And in the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.